Dave, you bring up an interesting point. Is the seal effective? And as you mentioned, from an advertising standpoint, does it get the point across? Does it really brand, who you are and what you're standing for?
Yeah.
So those are all interesting takes on that.
Yeah, from Joe Romanelli's Facebook page, he says that there are a bunch of items you should look for when you check off on a particular logo. One, it should represent the best ideals of your organization. Says no explanation of your logo should be necessary. And people are having to explain this logo. Well, it's a wrestler and they're wrestling. No, it's one guy's being choked by another. And according to Joe Romanelli, you shouldn't have to explain your logo. That's one interesting point. Mm-hmm. Another one, it should be timely and current. Let's face it, he says, times change, people change, the world changes. It's time to leave the past to historians. I'm not sure I exactly concur with that because sometimes a logo should represent history, I think. It should be simple, it says here. Too much detail muddles the image. Hands on shoulders or hands on neck? Is it wrestling or is it killing? This is not a simple, clear impression, according to the comment here.
Again, don't agree with that.
Also, it should be memorable. Okay, we'll concede it's memorable, but do you want it to be memorable in the fashion that this particular logo is memorable? And it should speak to your future, not just about your past. So those are some of the checkpoints that you need to go through according to the Facebook post from Joe Romanelli there. Agree or disagree, and many people have agreed and disagreed to that Facebook posting. We'll get to some of those comments in just a few minutes. And your comments always welcome on the phone at 624-0870 or on the text line at 623-0373.
We got a text message in. Actually, this person's saying it's a town seal, it's not a logo.
Okay.
Which it technically is correct, yes, because it isn't, necessarily what the town is representing and everything.
Sure.
It is the seal,
Of course,
which are more traditional.
In the definition of a logo, it is a logo on a town seal, I suppose. I think interchangeable, I would think there. I'll have to check the specific definitions, I suppose, of each word.
Well,
just going with our text message.
Yep, and the breakdown that you brought up, Dave, in regards to, the ad side of it, it is being brought up in this article as a seal/logo, but I'm not sure if you brought up 4 or 5 bullet points there, and not sure if I agree with all of them as well. We talked about 1, representing the best idea of your organization. 2, should it be timely and current? 3, should it be simple? 4, should it be memorable? And 5, should it speak to your future? I don't know. I think 5 may be the only questionable one here as far as my concern goes, but I think it's going to be a good conversation to have.
All right. Numbers again to reach us, 624-0870. You can also text the show at 623-0373, or you could send us an email if you like, talk@wutqfm.com. John Pitarresi is on the phone with us right now, the retired columnist for the OD. How are you, John?
Hey, terrific.
You had some interesting comments about the logo or seal for the town of Whitesboro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the, I guess, some of the criteria that you would judge a logo by, according to Joe Romanelli's post on his Facebook page there. What would you think about that?
Well, I understand Joe's point. I do. I know the whole branding idea. I'm not a big fan of that term because I feel that your brand is your work or your product and over time, and you can't make something positive out of junk, and people will respect if you have a great product or a great you do great work, that will be your brand eventually. But I also questioned, why a village or a township might need a brand, but I guess that's an argument for another day. My one of my points is if you know the history of what the logo depicts, then I don't see how you can interpret it in a racist way or an offensive way at all. I will say that maybe the rendering of it, might appear to, it makes it look maybe it makes it look offensive, but I think you got to work hard. I think you have to work hard to make this into a racist symbol or depicting a racist event. So, I was, I remember when this last flared up was I guess in July, in the Village Voice and several other outlets wrote about it. But I think I really do think you have to work hard to make it into a racist symbol.
I concur with you, John. I believe that, we look at a lot of, excuse me, different symbols, logos, or things that may brand, I guess if we're using that word, certain organizations or groups or even businesses. And I think it's maybe our duty to research, if we're not sure,